Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
That's your man, right?
I'm Sabrina Daly.
I'm Paul Lopez.
And let's jump straight into it, Paul. We have loads of conversations to discuss. Of course, we do want to say that we are here at the beautiful Tree House, of course, courtesy the Fort George Hotel and Spa. But, Paul, in terms of conversations, we also have to say that we will be speaking with the CEO of the KHMH. She's going to be sharing some updates on union concerns. We're also going to be highlighting the Fort George Hotel and Spa as they unveil some upgraded spaces. Along with that, Bowen and Bowen, our friends, will be joining us to highlight the Made of Belize campaign and savor the evening one bite at a time. Tapas night at Fort George is your new weekly escape, and we will definitely be telling you if we think you should be taking part in that.
Such a beautiful morning, Sabrina, and a beautiful space to host this morning's show. I am at the Treehouse, so of course I cannot go without having a cup of coffee.
Even when you're not at the Treehouse.
Yeah, but then this is like, you can't be here and not have
That's
coffee,
so
right?
true.
I have this beautiful ceramic glass that I've been graced with to drink my coffee from this morning. And let me just say, I love the ambience here.
It's beautiful.
I've never been.
Really?
Yeah, so this is what I love about this job.
Yeah.
Right? It takes me to places that I wouldn't ordinarily go because of my busy schedule.
Yeah.
So when you could combine work and leisure, don't we all love that? When work send you upon a little trip and then you take some time for yourself. I probably not take no time for myself this morning, but just being here is such a pleasure, and I definitely want to thank Fort George Hotel and Spa for allowing us to use their space this morning. Of course, we have still some serious conversations to have, and the truth is, when you come to these sort of venues, there's all sorts of conversations that you have around these tables. It's light-hearted conversations, it's very tough conversations, sometimes it's emotional conversations, but we often feel comfortable having these sort of conversations at the coffee shop, in the cafe, with friends or family. And so what a better place, how appropriate is it this morning?
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you highlighted that, because while we will be having some fun conversations, I know that a lot of people have been looking forward to the sit down with the CEO of the KHMH. We are hoping that we can be able to have that conversation with her a little bit later on in the show. But we do want to highlight some topics that we think that you guys should know before you leave your homes this morning. We might be outside the studio, but we still have some great discussions coming up. First off, Paul, what do we have lined up?
Yeah, so these are 5 things you need to know before leaving your house this morning. Some of the headlines that are being discussed at this point. First of all, deported mother reunites with family in Belize. This story surfaced yesterday afternoon, and it is so touching to see this mother being deported from the US and then reuniting with her family right here in Belize. Secondly, the Belize's joint union, or the joint union negotiating team, and GOBs, or the government of Belize's joint negotiating team, or negotiating team, they're going to meet today. So they're going back to the table. They have a meeting scheduled today to discuss a new proposal set forth by the government of Belize. Thirdly, $70K for a CEO's special advisor. This has been raising eyebrows. going to talk about that. And fourth, have you purchased your branded Coca-Cola bottle, whether it's Coke or Coke Zero? Have you made that purchase yet? And finally, open your eyes, country tour heads to Placencia. Yes, Placencia, OIE is coming your way.
Fantastic. Well, perhaps we can begin with the heavier stuff and wind down from there. I know that we have been talking for the better part of the last few weeks, the dispute, the conflict, the demands on the table from the unions presented to the government negotiating team. We did highlight in our newscast last night, I believe, that the negotiating team from the union side would be meeting with the government today. And so one of them I know that we are definitely following is that of the Belize National Teachers Union and their demand of the 8.5% salary adjustment that everyone has been talking about. That is still on the table, and we understand that that negotiation should be addressing one of that as the main concern.
Well, I think at this point, if I am not mistaken, that is the main conversation. I know that they had a meeting scheduled, right? Because we haven't really gotten an opportunity to speak with any union representative, at least of recent, within the last few days. But I know that they had plans to meet with the government to continue discussions on their collective bargaining agreement. And there was a date scheduled for that. And if I'm not mistaken, today should be that date. However, I don't know how they can continue conversations on the collective bargaining agreement itself and finalizing that where the teachers are concerned without first addressing the elephant in the room, which is the 8.5% salary adjustment. So what we know is that there was one meeting held in person, that initial engagement, where they basically came to the table, the Joint Union and the Government of Belize, to kind of hash things out. And then they left from that meeting, and at least 2 proposals and counter proposals have been put forth from then up to now. Now, here's the thing. This third proposal, if you would, by the government of Belize, and we are all waiting with bated breath to see what then they come with. Because we went from 3% to 4%, and the public, we've had our eyes glued on these proposals. We have been picking them apart. Union membership, they've been picking them apart. And so far we know that they've rejected all of them. Now, for this third proposal that the government has drafted, my understanding, just based from speaking with the Minister of Culture earlier this week, who is a senior member in Cabinet, he said that Cabinet was yet to discuss. So I presume, or I assume, that discussion was held earlier this week during Cabinet meeting. They're not going to write to the union this time with a proposal. Right? So, as in the first and second case, more so the second instance, when they wrote to the union interpreted the tone of the letter as being flat, as being authoritative, as being disrespectful.
But it also came from a different author.
Well, a different signature more perhaps than an author. We don't know who wrote it, but who signed on to it.
Okay.
So in negotiations, and I'm no negotiations expert, but from time to time I have to negotiate my way into and out of things at home. So I practice, right? When you notice, when you send things by writing, it's left up to the person that's reading, the person that's received it, to interpret it in the manner they see it to be interpreted. And so they could add tone to it, they could define all of that. So based on what we heard from the Prime Minister yesterday, they're not going to do that. we're not going to send this in writing this time. We're actually going to bring it to the table and propose it to you. We're going to speak to you and share it with the tone that we intend for it to have, right? So I would imagine today, Minister or Deputy Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister did say Deputy Prime Minister will be there, that he will be the one to take the lead, that he will get back to leading this conversation and leading these negotiations. And I think that's what the unions want. They want the Deputy Prime Minister to continue this communication. In negotiations, you don't just switch from one person to the next person, especially if the second person isn't favored in the eyes of the individuals that you're negotiating with, and they will present their proposal before them verbally and of course in writing as well, and we'll be there to see what was presented.
I think a couple of things that I am looking forward to see if it could potentially change would be what was included in the last proposal. We know that the 3% was bumped up to 4%, but aside from that, there was also the inclusion of the possibility of the retirement age to be increased to 65. I believe there was also mention of the pensions, where teachers were essentially saying that, hey, we're asking for that 8.5% increase, but with what you're suggesting, which is a 4%, and the added other payments that they would have to include, I imagine, with their pensions, they wouldn't really be walking away with anything extra. In fact, they would be walking away with less after they make all these deductions. And so we know that that was addressed by the president of the Belize National Teachers Union, particularly where age is concerned. She highlighted that in certain areas or in certain departments, who would expect a 65-year-old police officer to still be as efficient, or a BDF to still be as efficient as someone else in another ministry or department? And so I'm interested to see how that could potentially be ironed out. And of course, we continue to follow it.
What I think, and going into the second topic, what I think the challenge will be for the unions in navigating the future course is finding a way to bring together all the frustrations from its membership and from the general public that is supporting their movement, bring that into one capsule, if you would, and diffuse this energy and momentum that is building and these demands for increased strike action if the unions decide to accept a proposal when they go back to their membership, right? Because what we're seeing right now, just from what I'm seeing and observing from being in the media, is that the conversations about rent has added fuel to the fire. The conversation about taxes has added fuel to the fire. And then last night or yesterday, another conversation came up that added more fuel to the fire. And it's interesting because while a lot of these things are not directly connected to the teachers and the unions call for an 8.5% salary adjustment, they're indirectly connected to government spending and that being under a microscope. So yesterday we heard that a senior police officer, now retired I believe, because there were conversations about former Deputy Commissioner of Police Aaron Guzman's retirement in February. There are conversations happening about that in February, that he has now been brought in, as confirmed by the Minister of Home Affairs, to the post, to be appointed to the post of advisor to the Chief Executive Officer Sharol Carr in the Ministry of Home Affairs. It's
because I don't necessarily know that an advisor even needs to come on as being employed. You could have an advisor that supports a ministry through volunteerism. Take, for example,
Volunteer?
a member.
Who are volunteer?
Give me a minute. Take, for example, members who are on boards as well. Not all board members are being paid as well. And even some of them that are paid, they're not paid the amount that we saw be highlighted yesterday in the newscast, $70,000. I mean, that's outrageous.
You see, the thing is, these are special posts. They're special assignments, right? So it has to come with, and this is there's a seniority aspect to this. Right, so you know I pay me no Willy Wonka type of money for come back in the public service under contract. Under contract, and I think you are paying me any Willy Wonka money. I work my way up through the ranks to become deputy commissioner of police before I retired. And if you're gonna get me back, in fact, if I'm gonna go back as an advisor, then you need to ensure that the pay suits that position.
Do we know of other ministries where CEOs have advisors?
I don't know. They will have to look into that, because Minister Musa said yesterday that
it's not uncommon.
It's not uncommon to have advisors in these roles. What the bigger question is, I think, in my opinion, while the $70,000 to many is an egregious thing and an egregious fact, I think the bigger question that many people are asking is, why does the CEO need an advisor? I've heard some people say, well, why not just put Mr. Guzman as the CEO?
Yeah.
If that's the case, if you need, and going to the salary now, you need a CEO that's getting close to $90,000 a year, because they just received an increase in salary earlier this year, and an advisor that's making close to the same amount in the same department,
including other benefits like vehicle. They get vehicle allowances, or not vehicle allowances. They get vehicle as well.
Then is it prudent spending where government resources? Can I remember this are taxpayers' money? I always try to bring people back to this point. This are taxpayers' money, and as a result of that, we have a right to ask these questions. We have a right to have these discussions and make these points. That we money only to spend. That we money only to pay to their people, and you have to ensure that there's accountability where these things are concerned. And I think as a government, you have a responsibility to ensure that you hear our voices, right, and the voices of the people, and take these concerns into consideration.
Well, my question that I'm asking now is, what will be the responsibility of the advisor? Is it simply to aid the CEO, to hear concerns and provide support where necessary? And if that is the case, does it warrant a $70K check annually? And all these other benefits?
Well, I wonder why is it that we never just put the former commissioner of police as CEO then of the Ministry of Home Affairs? Wouldn't that, and I'm just throwing it out there,
or advisor?
No, I mean, if you have an administrative person and somebody who specializes in a field in the Ministry of Home Affairs, wouldn't the former commissioner of police have best fit that role in the Ministry of Home Affairs, and then put somebody in transport that is purely administrative? Or would that person have needed an advisor as well? You need an advisor because you do a lot, you know.
I can't pay
we could
for
get
it.
you an advisor.
I man,
we could work this out.
At this point,
could get
I would like to be an advisor.
Oh, you'd like to be.
Sounds like easy money. But moving things along, we do want to jump on a lighter topic of discussion. Well, not necessarily lighter, but I think one that's certainly touching, and it has been making rounds on social media. Paul, you would know that we initially documented the first big cohort of deported Belizeans that arrived here in Belize courtesy a flight from the United States. This isn't necessarily unusual, persons being deported to Belize, but I think it was the way that it was done, and this was done across the world as well, where the United States has been amping up its approach to crack down on immigration laws. One of the most recent deported Belizeans is a mother, and it has been making headlines and being shared across social media, I think because of the story itself. Margarita Avila has been deported to Belize, but she also left 2 other children in the United States. She's a mother of 9, and so she returns to her family here in Belize, which is always great news. We always wonder about, you know, what the continuation of life looks like when you've spent all this time in another country, trying to build a whole new life, trying to invest in whatever you can for your family. This is the story of persons who leave their home to the unknown. In this case, though, Miss Avila had to return to Belize, to her family, but also leave some of her children in the United States as well. I believe she left children ages 11 and 13 who were born and raised in the United States. It's quite a touching story. I understand that some of her family members have also still been trying to fight back on what has taken place. I'm not certain what the regulations are when it comes to immigration rules, the I-130 and all of these different forms and applications that they have to apply for. But they do believe that she was wrongfully deported and they want her to return back to her family.
Yeah, we've been following the case of this individual since, if my memory serves me correctly, and you could correct me, she had an encounter with a mailing, a postal individual, right? He snuck up on her surprisingly. There was some sort of physical altercation as a result, and then she was detained.
Yeah.
And that story basically went dead at that point.
Well, I understand she was in custody from in May.
Right, so there you have it. So that answers, that fills that timeline. And we've been having this discussion in the newsroom, interestingly. And one of the main points that we've been making, or main question that we've been asking, is despite the crime or the alleged crime that a Belizean may have committed in the US, what systems are in place? What systems have we put in place here in Belize to receive these individuals and offer them the support that's needed, the level of support that's needed for them to reintegrate themselves into society? I am sure that none of them wants to be in this situation, right? Many of them, and again, putting the alleged crime that they may have committed aside, wants to come home to absolutely nothing. What sort of support, whether it's mental support, whether it's some sort of financial push. I just don't want it to be a case where we run the risk of adding to the marginalized statistics here in Belize as the Trump administration continues to send more and more people back home. And so, in my view, there needs to be systems in place, and perhaps there already are systems in place that's not being made public or publicized enough. But so yes, that's, for me, that's my main concern. But it's good to see, for this case, this lady has a family to come home to, and I understand her family was there at the airport to receive her when she arrived yesterday.
You know, it's a really tricky situation to be in, because even if you were not in violation of an extreme crime, the fact remains that if you're deported, if you overstayed in the United States or wherever, that is a crime. It's
Yeah.
a violation of immigration laws. And so we have to respect that law.
Of course.
But I do agree with you. When these persons are returned back to Belize, I think some consideration could be made to ensure that they have something or someone to return to, because a lot of them have spent their entire lives in the United States, and it does not necessarily have to be that they willingly went there as an adult and overstayed. Some of them went as a baby, and perhaps their family did not go about and carry out the proper procedures to ensure that they had their documentation to be there. There are so many people here in Belize that don't even have their documentation.
I can't, his name slips me, but the individual that was incarcerated for a murder in the U.S., that's a controversial situation.
Of course, he has a violent crime attached to his name, but he's one of the examples of being in the United States from, I believe, about 5 years old.
And then returning home, and yes, there's different views about whether he should receive support or not. But what then? Is he just left to the mercy of the world? Is there a rehabilitative system or process in place that he can take advantage of? I don't necessarily want to take a position on that one for the sake of not wanting to be identified being for this side or not support of him. But I think in general, systems need to be put in place to embrace and accept these individuals.
All right. Well, of course, we continue to follow these types of stories as well. They're still very much important to highlight. I know that we are winding down on time, but I do want to remind you guys that OIE heads on the road again this weekend, and we are going all the way to Placencia for our show on Monday. I'm super excited about it. We've been super excited about our country tour. You would know, Paul, that we started in Corozal. I believe it was about 3 weeks or so ago. We were at the Santa Rita archaeological site, and it was fantastic. So I'm really excited about where we will be in Placencia for next week's show as well. So definitely stay tuned to that.
And then also, just to mention, I don't know if we have the images queued up, but it's been all the rave.
I know what you're going to say already.
Crystal bottling.
Yes.
And their Coca-Cola branding.
I saw you got two.
I was the first. I just
You-
want you
you
to
lied.
know. I was
You were?
among the first. At least at our studio.
Yeah. You were the first in the office, for sure.
Yeah, because I thought it was such a great idea and I took advantage of it now.
Okay. Shake it. Shake it. Okay. Shake it. Shake it. Shake it like that's all.
Yeah, so I haven't seen a bottle with the name Sabrina on it, and I definitely don't expect to see a bottle with Sabrina with 2 E's on it.
So it's not S-A-B-R-I-N-A.
Paul, are we still on the name?
Wow.
But aside from names, you can also have messages on it. So we do know that earlier this week, Paul celebrated his 2nd year anniversary.
And so
and you got a bottle with happy anniversary on it.
Yeah, just because my wife, she loves Coke.
And you love Coke.
So we did both of them. So yeah, that's a little plug there for Crystal Bottling and Coca-Cola. You could take that one on the house. The next one, not come in, right?
We want a Coke Zero for it.
Right? But yeah, so cool stuff happening there.
Cool stuff taking place. We do want to also inform you guys that there is a poll question currently up on our social media.
Yeah.
And so definitely check that out. We want to get your engagement in on that as well.
But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it's Fort George Hotel and Spa. We're at their lovely location, and so we're gonna hear more about it from them and what you can enjoy when you come on down. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
is Christian Palma. I'm the owner of CRK Services, and I've been operating this business for 7 years in Big Falls, Toledo District. I use the Belize Bank online services because it's quite fast, reliable, and easy. Before I started to use the Belize Bank online services, I had to make a lot of trips into town, which cost me a lot, especially fuel. So the fact that I have to use my credit card every day, I can do an online instant payment and make my life easy. My customers can do payments towards me and it reaches in instant. It's fast, it's convenient for my business. I don't have to be up and down. I can do it anywhere I want. I would recommend you using the Belize Bank online services because for you, it will save you a lot of time.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV, The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family, as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Hi there. Are you on your phone right now, scrolling on social media, listening to the radio, or watching TV? Have you ever stopped to think, what's powering my device right now? You see, electricity is essential for everyday life, powering our homes, businesses, transportation, and of course, that one binge-worthy series that you just can't stop watching. But how does it all work? This season on the What's and Whys of Energy, we're taking you behind the scenes, bringing you the latest updates and answers to your biggest energy questions. My name is Emmanuel Petch, and I invite you to join us as we go live on Facebook and get ready to see energy in a whole new light. Like, share, and follow us to be part of the conversation.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV, the Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are jumping straight into our first conversation this morning, and it's all about empowering community climate change leaders. This morning, we are joined by two members of the 37th Belmopan Phoenix Scout Group. Here with us is Georgia Belize. She's a group leader, and also with us is Itana Belize, a venture scout. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So I know that we have a camp that we are going to be speaking about a little bit later on in our discussion. But before we get into that, let's talk a bit about the 37th Belmopan Phoenix Scout Group. How long have you guys been in function, and what do you guys do?
37th Belmopan Phoenix Scout Group is the only scout group in Belmopan. We have about 35 members currently. I'm the group leader for it. We have 5 other leaders within our group. There's different section for scouting. There's the Cubs, there's Scouts, and there's Ventures. We also have some Beavers as well, which is age 4 to 7, and then we have the Cubs are 7 to 11, and then we have 11 to 15, which is Scouts. And then we have the Venture Scouts, which Itana is a member of, and that's from 15 on to 21.
Oh,
and
so
then
it's divided by age.
Yes, and then you could become an adult volunteer leader.
Oh.
Currently, the Scout group, we recently got our Scout house, and that's basically where we're going to be launching the camp from. And we're hoping that we could use this platform for this camp for to empower youth to really take action in what is happening within their environment. I'll have Itana go more into the camp portion, but first, 37th Belmopan Phoenix Scout Group has been in existence for several years, actually, more than 10 years. Under different leadership. I came in a little later, about 2.5, 3 years currently within the group. But wonderful set of kids we have there. Our aim is to, make the world a better place. Teaching kids to be stewards of their community is one of the key things that we try to emphasize. Being holding the country as their national pride and doing whatsoever they can to make a difference.
Before we get into the actual event, I want to continue down this line and bring Itana into the conversation, just to talk a bit about the personal benefits for you as a young person that engaging in scouts and scout activities has brought to your life personally.
So engaging in scouts has brought to me, it made me, scout teach you about real life skills. So for me, I learned about stuff just in case if alright, so if I'm stuck in the wilderness, so what should I do? I know how to navigate, I know how to cook, I know how to build a shelter, I know how to survive in the wilderness. Scouts prepare you for real life events. So in that mindset, so when I'm older, I already know, hey, I remember this, I know how to do this. Scouts help me with first aid. For me, I love first aid, and I help. So if any of the other scouts from my scout group or any scout group in Belize is hurt, I will be there to help them and assist them. I'm also the person who help with first aid for my group, So I'm in charge of the first aid kit. If they don't have this, if they don't have that, I will tell the group leader, and she will notify the executive committee, and that's where they will buy the materials, and that's where our first aid kit is prepared.
What about the intangible skills? The skills that are practical but intangible, the skills you can't see, like values and perhaps communication maybe, and how to be respectful and kind. Are these also things taught as being part of a scout?
Yes, these are, so we have laws and we have to follow by these laws.
Yeah.
So one of our laws is to help others, and we help others. Me and some other scouts, we partnered up with 4-H, and we went to the children's home and we did activities with them. Also, we have protect our environment. We do different cleanups and so on. Yeah.
So who's there to arrest you if you break a law? I'm just kidding. I don't expect you to answer
Well,
that.
Itana, I understand that through the Scout, you guys were able to also apply for a grant. And this ties in perfectly with the laws that you just spoke about, caring for your environment. And with that, you were able to use the funds to be able to now fully support, free of cost, persons at a climate change summer camp. Before we get into the summer camp, I want to talk about the interest in this grant in the first place. What was the organization that provided the funding, and why did you guys apply?
So Belmopan City Council has a climate change fund, and they were the ones that started it. So I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, you know what, we should teach the younger kids about climate change, because they don't talk about climate change to them a lot. So we should educate them, to show them why we should protect our environment and so on. So during this camp, we have a lot of different organizations which deals with, which will be talking to them about climate change, how it affects and how we could prevent climate change.
I probably should have asked from earlier, is Etana your daughter?
She is actually.
She's taking the lead.
Actually, she is the lead for this camp.
Okay.
She's the project lead. She wrote the proposal.
That's fantastic.
That's incredible.
And so, yeah, I can't take any credits. That's why I'm sitting back. Basically, and that's what we teach the young people to do, to take leads. You know, as leaders, scouting leaders, we basically guide them and teach them how to be leaders. That's our role. And this resonates a lot in what she did in this grant. She saw something that needed to be changed. She saw that there's a need for you to take action. She saw a potential where she could use that, and she went for it. And it's actually coming to fruition.
So what's the age range that you believe would be impactful the most to be able to participate in this camp?
So we have 11 to 18, but we added to 19.
Okay.
So we have 19-year-olds that are going to be participating in the camp.
And what are some of the activities that you guys will be taking part in? You said that there are some organizations that also partnered with you.
So we have, the organization that we have is Zero Belize. We have Oceana. They will be doing a presentation, and they will be teaching the participant how to make soaps. WCS will be going to the Maya corridor, learning about the environment, the animals, and how climate change affects and how they try to prevent climate change from that. We have Sea of Life. They will be teaching about plastic pollution, and we will also be doing a community cleanup / trash blitz.
I saw that you guys will also be having an overnight camp as well, because you can't have summer camp without actual camping.
Our scouts, so we have to.
Absolutely.
We also have FCD, which will be going to the Chickabull.
Wow.
And we'll be learning about deforestation.
So you all, this is not something where you're staying inside.
So we have 2 lecture sessions, which Miss Georgia should be doing her climate change camp. Climate change basics and sustainable development workshop. And then we have Sea of Life. They will be doing, half of their thing will be on plastic pollution, and they will be moving on to the next half, which is the community cleanup.
What I'm saying also is that there's a huge component that's outside, that's hands-on, that's very practical, right? And I think that's important for young people as well. They don't want to sit down inside a room for an entire week just listening to people talk to
They'll
them.
definitely be
They actually
outside.
want to engage in something. What do you think the importance of this is? Why is this important?
So I believe that also with the activities that we'll have outdoors is to them to see how climate change has affected our environment. So they could look around and say, oh, like FCD, they will be teaching, they could look around and see how deforestation, how many trees have been cut down, and the carbon footprint that has been caused from this. So I believe that it's very important to them to see and realize, oh, this is how our world looks now with all of this.
Yeah, and this is
going
only
on.
Belize. There are so many other examples across the world that climate change has really made an impact. It affects in large ways and even in smaller ways. The summer camp is set to take place the 14th of July to the 25th.
So it's a 2-1-week camp, which the participants will be learning about climate change. So in this camp, the first week, although it's 60 participants, the first week will be separated. So you'll be 30 participants for the first week, and then 30 for the next week. So you add that together, which will get our 60 participants.
And these are not, the entire week is not like overnight. There's only one element of it that will be camping overnight.
Yes.
And that will be revealed, I guess, later on when you actually apply. It's also free. So we do want to encourage you guys as well. Can we speak about that?
So the only thing that the participants will be needing to pay for is their way to get there and get back to their house. The food is free. The trips are free, so there's no cost or nothing for it.
And where is it located?
It will be located in Belmopan, the street, Portugal Street by Isidorum, the football stadium. So
how do you apply?
You could go on the 37 Belmopan Phoenix Scout group Facebook page, and it's going to be the first thing that is going to pop up.
There's a registration link on it.
Yes.
And they just apply online. They don't have to come in. They don't have to bring any paper. We're not burning up any papers. So as what Itana said, a lot of the camp will be through the grant funding, all the finance for it. So if parents can get their kids to and from the areas, then definitely it is worth it.
And you don't have to be a scout.
No.
Yes.
It's open to non-members.
Open to non-members. And there's still 2 spaces for the first week and 12 for the second week.
Only 2 for the first week?
Yes.
Man,
Wow.
I think they go fast.
It is going fast.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, this has been a wonderful conversation. As we wrap up, I'll ask if you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with our viewers, any persons you'd like to say thank you to as well. I see there's a big collaboration taking place to achieve this camp.
So I would like to thank the Belmopan City Council Climate Change Fund for making this happen. I would also like to thank my whole team. I have my social media manager, Chloe Perifeet, my assistant program lead, Nairobi Rodriguez, my camp coordinator, Brian Walker, my also next camp coordinator, Anakin Kawich, my equipment coordinator, Zefe Membreno and Xander Malera, my food coordinator, Linnea Emmanuel and Hyson Gillick, and also Brittany Belize.
Wow, you remember everyone.
I know.
That's fantastic.
There are young people. I also want to thank all the facilitators and the organizations that partnered with us. Zero Belize, Oceana, Sea of Life, FCD, National Climate Change Office, and also Palacios Mountain Retreat for assisting us to host the camp there. Thank you guys very much. Without you, this program wouldn't be as awesome as it's envisioned to be.
All right.
Excellent. Well,
and thanks, Itana, for writing that proposal for us to get that camp.
And thank you for trusting her to take the lead in this.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break now, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, Open Your Eyes continues.
My name is Leomar Langzert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer. With these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Open Your Eyes morning show, bringing Belize to you. Our next stop is stunning Placencia. Join us as the country tour continues and we head to the vibrant, sun-kissed shores of Placencia, where the culture is rich, the food is mouth-watering, and the people are full of life. Expect exciting interviews, local highlights, hidden gems, and the warmth that only the South can offer. From beach vibes to village pride, Placencia, we're coming your way. Join us on June 30th at 6:30 a.m. as we bring Belize to you. Only on Open Your Eyes, start your morning right.
Powered by Digi, or National Telecom.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV, the Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV, the Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. This conversation is all about Owen and Bowen as they highlight their Made of Belize campaign. And we're joined on set by Martin Guy, brand coordinator over at Bellikin. Also, Mr. Corey Leslie, who's a creative developer over at Bellikin. And Mr. Ernest Garcia, a co-star and Made of Belize Fly Fishing. Mr. Garcia, it's a pleasure to have you.
Gentlemen,
gentlemen as well. And it's to the superstar. I see the man in the video.
Well, it's great having you guys here, as always. So this morning we are here to talk about the Made of Belize campaign. I know that there are so many more things on the agenda that you guys are taking on, but let's hone in on that. What is the Made of Belize campaign?
So, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here, of course. So, before we talk about the campaign, I'd like to speak about what Made of Belize is, right? So, I know we're probably familiar with the term Made in Belize.
Yes,
right?
actually I thought it was a typo.
Yeah, I know. So
they're
two different things. Well, to us, they're two different things. So, Made in Belize just means it's produced here. There's an array of things that are produced in Belize, right? There's sugar, of course, there's Bellikin, and that's just to name a few. But Made of Belize to us means more so what you're made from, right? So, the Belizean people, our cultural DNA, right? Our attitudes, our attributes, our characteristics, right? So Made of Belize refers to that. And when we think about the cultural DNA for Belize, we think about things like being unique, being authentic, being proud, right? And what we did with the campaigner for us, we tried to hone in on those characteristics and bring those to life through our videos, right? And then now in terms of the campaign itself, so it's an array of videos that we take those characteristics and we find everyday activities that are culturally relevant to Belize, right? So it's a part of our heritage. So the Made of Belize campaign is a series of videos that highlights those things.
Corey, talk a bit about the creative process.
Right. So Made of Belize is an extremely exciting campaign to create on the back end. A lot of work goes into it. This is season 2 of Made of Belize. So in 2022, that's when the whole idea originally launched. There were 6 episodes, if you will, in that season that included Creole drum making, carnival, rice and beans, artisanal fishing.
How do you top that?
Right, good question. that was the head scratcher for season 2. But we just dove deeper into authentic experiences that aren't necessarily too common outside of the borders of Belize. These are activities that are hosted by Belizeans, orchestrated by Belizeans. Some of them are Belizean ideas that came to fruition and became something of a staple in terms of what we do here. So it was a tough project to try and top season 1, but I think we did a good job at least maintaining the standard that we created in the first season.
The obvious question is, how did we get Mr. Garcia involved? Fly fishing is big here in the country as well, but what made you guys decide on including that as an aspect of what is Made of Belize?
That's a really good question. Fly fishing is something that is a huge tourist attraction, and there would be no better person to describe that more than Ernest, right? But for us, the whole process of knowing that our fly guides, the ones who take the tours out, they're all Belizeans. They know the sport, they know the waters, and they know the rules and regulations of the sport. So people come and, to be quite frank, they spend a good deal of money to do fly fishing. It's a leisure sport. So while the everyday Belizean may not engage in fly fishing regularly, it's still Belizean led, and it's still something that is very, very proud to Belize.
So, Mr. Garcia, let's get you into the conversation. Give us a bit about your background and your history in fly fishing. and how this for you ties into being made of Belize.
Okay, well, thanks again. Good morning, guys. Well, I was born and raised in Placencia Village, and growing up, everybody used to fish, so Placencia is just, just a family fishing village at first, right? And then as a child, I got more into more commercial fishing, just to make income and that sort of stuff. But as time went on, you kind of find that there's a lot of pressure on the marine fishery. So when tourism started, then I got more into sport fishing, which helps protect the environment, and takes the pressure off the marine fishery. And it's something that is more beneficial to the country as well, because of the fact that you're not really killing everything that you catch. You catch and release, and that is, sustaining the environment and making this last for a long time.
What was the most interesting part for you about being a part of this video shoot and then seeing the final product?
Man, when these guys called me up and asked me if I wanted to be a part of the project, I said, hey, of course, please. And the whole team, man, it was a great experience working with the team, shooting the video.
The final product, your thoughts on it?
Yes.
Stamp of approval?
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah.
One of the things I think is really cool about what you guys do over at Belican with these various campaigns, when we think of Made in Belize and even Made of Belize, it's the way that you try to give that stamp of sustainability and everything too. When we think of fly fishing, when we think of culture, when we think of music, and anything that involves Belize, there's this idea that there's preservation of our cultural identity, and that's really captured and almost like stored away as part of history too, because we can go back and we can look at all of these campaigns and these videos online and see all these persons who are heavily involved in their communities or embraced one way or another in a particular time here in Belize. I think that's really, really cool and really interesting, and it also highlights Belize in its own unique way. I want to get into some of the other videos and other ways that we will see Belize be highlighted. What are some of the other videos coming up?
So we have 4 videos slated for season 2 of Made of Belize. Fly fishing was the first, of course. I almost do not want to give away the themes of the other episodes, just because it's something that we're trying to build anticipation around and awareness on. Just it's something that everyone can be proud of. So definitely fly fishing is one of our major highlights, but we do continue on this exciting narrative of telling Belizean stories. So all I want to say is we're on social media. Belican has a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a YouTube channel. All the videos from season 1 are there, and of course season 2 will be up there as they come out, because
so I'm trying to think what the other campaign will be.
There's so much, Sabrina. I won't even go down a rabbit
Made
hole.
with Belize.
Go ahead. So the campaign it remains Made of Belize, right? But a fun fact about season 2 is that every video featured was an idea that was submitted from Belizeans. So
that's nice.
So what we did was last year during Belican Bash, we did a hero video with all the videos from season 1, right? And then we basically told the public that we want to do season 2 and that we're accepting submissions for video ideas. So all the videos from season 2 will be from the public, and of course they're culturally authentic experiences, right? These ones perhaps would be a bit more niche than season 1, right? But I think they're just as amazing, and they're just as authentic as the ones before.
From a technical standpoint, what I appreciate is the quality of production. I trust me, it's amazing to watch, especially when you have the screen or the resolution on your screen that could depict it. So it's the quality of the video and the quality of the productions, the shots, the transition. Who's behind all of that?
I love that you asked that question, and it does bear mentioning that our entire video production team is all Belizean as well. So you're really seeing talent, homegrown talent in these videos. It's a lot of orchestrating. We had at least 3 to 4 sets of videographers that we had to contract to get this production done. They work with us on almost all our production projects, and they're the best of the best. This one shows the cinematic quality of what they can do, down to the music composition. And the granular details, you take it for granted, but when you're working on it, the moving parts. I mean, we finished filming this last year, and we're only now presenting it to the public because all the pieces have finally fit together. So our video team, completely local, they know what they're doing, they have decades of experience among all themselves. So really cool team to work with.
I love that, Mr. Garcia. So do you have a company that you work with or you work for?
Yes, I work for Tarpon Key Lodge, fly fishing destination, just 14 miles off the coast of Placencia.
How do people go about seeking your services?
Well, it's everything is booked online, so just
It's really catered to, like, your main clientele is tourists, right?
Yes.
If we could
Do
be
Belizeans
honest.
go and try fly fishing? Not really? We need to get Paul. I think we need to volunteer Paul.
Right, to get out there.
Yeah, no, most of our guests are Americans and Canadians, some Europeans as well.
What's the attraction when it comes to fly fishing?
Well, it's mostly the 3 protected sport fish: permit, tarpon, and bonefish. You know, but we do get clients that target different species as well, because there's a lot of other fish out there that you can have a lot of fun with.
What brings you the greatest joy with doing this job?
Just fishing. Just fishing. You know, I just love fishing. And the best part about it to me is that, you know, we can fish in a way that, you know, we're protecting the ocean. Fly fishing is the perfect and best way to do that.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, gentlemen, I think this entire conversation captures the essence of Belizean culture in a certain way. And we want to include you guys in a bit of an activity with us called our cultural phrase of the day. And so this morning's cultural phrase of the day is, when trouble catch you, picnic shot fit you. Have you ever heard of that?
When trouble catch you,
picnic shot fit you.
One I don't know.
Right.
So I will translate it to English. When in difficult situations, you have to make adjustments to survive.
No, that's not translation, that's the meaning.
Yeah, that's
guys, come on, guys. We have one job, guys.
We still need them for guests.
When trouble catches you, children's clothing fits you.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
I love
what
that.
would you say that means to you? Anybody want to
It just sounds like you have to adapt to difficult times, really. So pick the shirt to fit you, that's all really.
I actually saw it different than that. But what did you think, Martin?
No, I mean, I feel like you gave us the definition, but...
No. Don't do that.
When trouble hits you, pick the shirt fits you, right? So, I mean, basically when you're in trouble, I mean, you need to be flexible, you need to adapt, you need to morph, right? Find different ways or look at it from a different perspective.
Mr. Garcia, you've heard that before?
I've never heard that before, but you knew what I mean right away. As soon as you said it. I think that, you know, just like one of my friends here said, Martin said, you know, when you run into difficult times or something troubling, instead of forcing a situation, you could always pull back. Don't be, you know, too proud to step back a bit and
I think when you're in a tight spot, you want to get out. So you are fitting a picnic shot if you need to get out of that. But it's quite an interesting one. I've never actually heard this one either, and I use a lot of Creole proverbs. But let us know your thoughts on this one. We definitely like it over here. But we got to take another quick break, and when we come back, we have much more conversations to look forward to. Open Your Eyes returns in just a moment.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Rheem or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, same iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
My name is Carlton Flowers, and I'm the owner of Back to My Roots Art from the Heart. And in this store, I produce a lot of handmade ornaments. Before I had access, it was a big problem because the tourist doesn't carry as much cash. We needed to have the machine to make the business a success. Dealing with the machine, I don't have to take time out from the store to go and, or send people to go to the bank. I would recommend Belize Bank Digital Service because it has done a lot for me personally. It has done a lot for my business. It helps me with paying my bills online, and I really appreciate that the staff took time out and teach me what I needed to get done. So I'm very happy that now I can do it confidently on my own.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
My name is Christian Palma. I'm the owner of CRK Services, and I've been operating this business for 7 years in Big Falls, Toledo District. I use the Belize Bank online services because it's quite fast, reliable, and easy. Before I started to use the Belize Bank online services, I had to make a lot of trips into town, which cost me a lot, especially fuel. So the fact that I have to use my credit card every day, I can do an online instant payment and make my life easy. My customers can do payments towards me and it reaches in instant. It's fast, it's convenient for my business. I don't have to be up and down. I can do it anywhere I want. I would recommend you using the Belize Bank online services because for you, it will save you a lot of time.
You ready for KTV, the Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV, the Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, same iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV, the Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Hi there. Are you on your phone right now, scrolling on social media, listening to the radio, or watching TV? Have you ever stopped to think, what's powering my device right now? You see, electricity is essential for everyday life, powering our homes, businesses, transportation, and of course, that one binge-worthy series that you just can't stop watching. But how does it all work? This season on the What's and Whys of Energy, we're taking you behind the scenes, bringing you the latest updates and answers to your biggest energy questions. My name is Emmanuel Petch, and I invite you to join us as we go live on Facebook and get ready to see energy in a whole new light. Like, share, and follow us to be part of the conversation.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are jumping into our third conversation this morning, and as we have mentioned, we are here at the beautiful Treehouse at the Fort George Hotel and Spa. And really, the Fort George Hotel and Spa opened its doors officially last year.
So a little over a year.
Yeah, and we've been here before, and we also brought you here with us before when we were on the road, OIE on the road, if you remember, Paul. This morning, though, we are joined by Shauna Arnold. She is the marketing executive of the Fort George, and she's here to talk to us about some of the updates since the last time we brought you guys with us here on the road. Good morning,
Awesome.
Shauna.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for having us, really.
Of course, we love having you guys here.
So, as we started off by saying, the Fort George Hotel and Spa opened its doors last year officially, and there has been so many upgrades and changes since then.
Absolutely.
So many people came by and visited to see the space and even stay here as well.
Absolutely.
Since then, there has been even more upgrades, though.
Of course, there has
So, let's talk about what the overall evolution of the Fort George has looked like, and then we can dive into some of the latest upgrades.
Of course. So like you mentioned, the Fort George Hotel and Spa officially opened its doors early last year in 2024. And with that, we have become known for being Belize City's luxury hotel. And with that, that includes fine dining, a top-tier spa, seafront courtyard rooms, and an entire elegant experience, this modern meets elegance.
Yeah.
And with that, we are adding one more amenity to the entire Fort George experience. And with that, that's the Lord Ashcroft Conference Center.
Okay.
Correct.
So it's one of those amenities that is in high demand, but in the city we realize there isn't a lot of options for it.
Absolutely, and that was the objective that we were trying to achieve. To be able, with the conference center opening in July, we will, not only the Fort George, but also Belize and Belize City, will be able to open its doors to not only local conferences and business events, but also regional and international events as well.
Yeah.
So it really puts Belize City specifically on this stage of excellence where we can then offer this and be recognized for offering something state of the art.
Tell us, what can you tell us about the conference room, if anything at all?
Of course. So the conference center is set to open in July. We will have 2 rooms. So it is configured where we can have one large open space, or we can then have it divided into 2 rooms.
Okay.
We have our Lamini room and our Caracal hall. So the Lamini room can, based on the configuration, it can host up to 115 persons based on the configuration. Our Caracal room can then host 250 persons as well. Correct, based on configuration.
So we're looking at almost 500 people when you join it together.
A little over 300 persons. Right, a little
yeah.
over 300 persons when you can join them together, and that is also an option as well. That we can break them out into rooms, but then we can also have one large hall as well.
You know, this kind of goes back to the conversation that me and Paul initially had when we started the show. We opened, of course, highlighting that we're here at the Treehouse, but aside from just the dining experience, there are so many different things that you can have when you stop here. You can come and chit chat as friends. You can come and have, those serious conversations, as Paul said, and to see the products or the services be expanded to now offering conference spaces where businesses or just people in general can meet, I think really speaks to the way that the owners of the Fort George is really trying to expand on what people can do here in Belize. As it relates to conference spaces, I think it's pretty limited where you can go here in Belize City. And so what are we hoping for people to take advantage of when they access the Lord Ashcroft Conference Center? Is it going to be open to only businesses? Are we seeing events being hosted there as well?
Correct. So like you mentioned, what we want to create is an entire Fort George experience. From the moment you check in with our rooms, with our fine dining, with our spa, and now with our conference center. And what we're hoping for, like you mentioned, it is not just for businesses, but it's also for weddings. This is for birthday parties. This is for anniversaries. Correct. This is for anniversaries. This is sort of a one-stop shop. You have the conference center, but we also provide catering as well, fine dining. There's a different variety of menu options, from international to local options that people can choose from. But also you have audio visual that we can set up, placements, decor, tables and chairs. We can provide that correct.
Under one
roof. Provide that entire experience for you.
I love that. Now here's one that will be just as appealing for our audience in general out there, the stays.
Correct.
And the rates and promotions right now. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So like I mentioned, we also want to tie in our conference center with our hotel and rooms. That's very important for us. So currently what we actually have a local offer on. People can always check out our website. We encourage them to go on our website. That is where we have all of our offers. One of the offers that we currently have going on is a local offer specifically for Belizeans. So we have very dynamic pricing. So we are currently offering 30% off your stay if you stay 1 night or more with us. So that promotion runs from now through to, the booking time is from now through to the end of August, but your travel window that you can travel with us is from now until the end of October. So this incorporates the entire low season that we are catering to Belizeans, and we want Belizeans to come in. It is in Belize City. We want Belizeans to take advantage of this offer to experience Fort George. Though we cater to the tourists and though we have tourist trafficking our doors every day, we do want Belizeans to take advantage of this. Not just the treehouse, not just the spa, but our rooms and other amenities that we offer as well.
What stands out about your accommodations?
Correct. So with our accommodations, I'd want to think it is modern meets comfort. That's how I would term it.
I like it.
Correct. So we have both our courtyard rooms and we have our sea view rooms. Our courtyard room offers access to our plunge pool, to the gym, and also to the spa. And depending on the height of the courtyard room that you're staying at, you have direct view of the sea. We also then have our sea view rooms that give you direct access to the sea. That is absolutely amazing to see as well. So you have both those options that you can really choose from.
One of the things I've noted is that construction continues.
Correct.
It's evident. You just have to drive past and you see. So I'm thinking there's still a lot more to come, and there's big plans for the future.
There is a lot more. As you can see, we're still very much in construction phase.
How many rooms do you imagine we will be having access to when this entire process is complete?
Correct. So our courtyard room houses about 30 rooms.
Wow.
32 rooms. Our sea view rooms house another 30. So that's in total. Currently, we have a little over 60 rooms that we have. But when we are completely finished, we'll be close to 100 rooms that we can accommodate.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Correct.
To have so many rooms, and then you have the conference area center as well. Because when you have big events with a lot of people, if they could accommodate all their people at the same location where the center is, that's ideal, right?
Absolutely, and that's what we really want, that we can have Belize City could be a hub for that.
Yeah.
That when people come in from the international airport, that they can come here and we can house their delegates here.
I love that.
So, I mean, I'm not certain if you're able to give us an idea of what the local pricing will look like, but I imagine people are wondering. I mean, this is luxury and modern meets comfort, but how affordable is it for Belizeans?
I think this, in terms of the conference center, I think is pretty affordable. Our starting rate, and this all depends on the packages that you build off of that, but the starting rate for the entire conference center is $3,000 US. And then based on each room, they have their own rates as well.
Okay.
So, and then you build packages starting from that.
And in terms of the accommodations, can you tell us anything?
Of course, for the accommodations, we do have dynamic pricing, so it's not a standard pricing. So it definitely varies in terms of the season and the times that you're interested in staying. But it is all pretty affordable.
What are some of the other things that are coming out of the expansion and the upgrades that we can anticipate very soon?
Of course, so in addition to the rooms that we talked about, we are also hoping to include another pool over there, another eatery that people can take advantage of. So it's this entire experience that we want to provide to people.
One of the things we've seen is the increase in popularity where the treehouse is concerned.
Absolutely.
I think Belizeans have embraced this place as much as your guests, their tourists.
They absolutely have. I think in terms of special events, occasions, we recently had graduations. It was really heartwarming to see all the graduates coming through in their gongs with their families. That was something really cool to see. So I think, like you said, people really have embraced the treehouse, whether it's for drinks, whether it's for breakfast, or whether it's for a special occasion. They really have.
All right. Well, as we wrap up the conversation, do you have any final words you'd like to share with our viewers?
Of course.
Any upcoming event or activities that you'd like to invite our viewers to come and check out?
Absolutely. So as it relates to the Lord Ashcroft Center, I would like to encourage not only businesses but individual persons, if you're looking for an event to have, to schedule a walkthrough with us. You can ask for myself, you can ask at the front desk. We'd be more than happy to do a walkthrough over at the conference center with you. We are putting the finishing touches as we're getting to the end of June, getting ready for a start in July. We're putting the finishing touches on the center, and we'd be more than happy to set up walkthroughs, provide quotations, bookings, anything like that for people.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Well, Shauna, a pleasure.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a moment.
We'll see you again. But we'll have food. We'll have food.
Yeah, and exactly. That's what we want to let you know. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we are jumping into Tapas night at Fort George, your new weekly escape. And Shauna is going to be joining us again also when we come back to talk about that.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer-Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Rheem or Green. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, fame, iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st, the comeback begins. KTV The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
My name is Leomar Langsert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer, with these online that Belize Bank offered, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Open Your Eyes Morning Show, bringing Belize to you. Our next stop is stunning Placencia. Join us as the country tour continues and we head to the vibrant, sun-kissed shores of Placencia, where the culture is rich, the food is mouth-watering, and the people are full of life. Expect exciting interviews, local highlights, hidden gems, and the warmth that only the South can offer. From beach vibes to village pride, Placencia, we're coming your way. Join us on June 30th at 6:30 a.m. as we bring Belize to you. Only on Open Your Eyes, Start Your Morning Right.
Powered by Digi, or National Telecom.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy Inc. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are at our final discussion this morning, and as we mentioned, it's all about Tapas Night at Fort George. We consider it your new weekly escape, and we have here with us again Shauna Arnold. She's the marketing executive, but also with me is Luis Diego. He is the chef executive, and Efren Alvarez, food and beverage manager. Guys, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And also having us here too.
Yes.
All right, well, we have some stuff here on display. Let's talk about Tapas Night. What is Tapas Night?
Okay, so like we talked about, it's all about the Fort George experience, and one of those experiences is in our courtyard. So we've recently started having a series of events in our courtyard. One of those events is our signature wine and tapas event. What that looks like, it's an evening of wine, tapas, live music. We have our sommelier that will be here. So it looks like a range of going through 5 different tapas with 5 different wine options that were perfectly crafted together. And I'll have the chef tell us a little bit more about that. But that is essentially what it is.
Yeah.
We have it scheduled monthly. Our next event is scheduled for tomorrow from 6 to 9 p.m. in our courtyard, June 27th. So people can come out for an evening after work to relax, to drink some wine, to try some signature tapas made by our chef, and really just enjoy themselves.
I think we can't continue the conversation without first getting a definition for tapas.
Of course.
Right? Some people may be familiar with what tapas is, but Sabrina may admit that she's not familiar with it, and
we don't know about.
And I might admit the same, right? So what is tapas, chef?
Good morning. Well, tapas is basically like finger food, right? Small portion that you just taste the food and measure with, in this case, with wines, right?
Yeah.
So what goes into your menu?
Okay, in this case, we try to have like international techniques with our local ingredients in Belize, right?
Yeah.
That's why, how you can see, we will have the mohapmara, which is like a pepper dip from Morocco, but in this case we will be use fried yaks, right? Usually you use with you eat with the pita bread, but in this case we will have a fried yak.
Yeah.
That's why I have like the Belizean twist, right?
Yes. And I love that. That's so cool already. Just I can't even pronounce the name of the dip that you just identified, but I do want to get Efren in the conversation as food and beverage manager. What's the collaboration like with the chef to ensure that there's that Belizean experience, but still something that offers, I guess, a newness to whoever comes in and visits?
Yes. Good morning for everyone. Yeah, the main idea burned because we trying to get a new concept in the city with the wine and tapas. Okay, my collaboration with the chef is the guests have the best experience and try to identify a new item at the menu that we can provide new experience. For example, each tapa is matched with each wine. For example, we can say the first tapa will come with the rosé, second one Pinot Grillo, third will be Pinot Noir, fourth will be with the Tempranillo Senior, okay? And maybe some of the names of the grapes are different.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, some people doesn't understand much about the wines, but that we want. We want to bring these people here and they try the full experience that will be for 5 steps, okay? And probably in the future, if this start to work and we keep this concept, we want to change it, the tapas, okay? Because the tapas in the end of the day is the main, practically is the main product that we can put in base of the table, okay?
I like the idea that there's a level of education taking place when it comes to pairing drinks with certain foods too, because we know that not every wine pairs well with any type of meal that you would be eating as well. So the selection of wines that you have on display, they will be pairing with particular types of tapas, right?
Exactly, that's the idea. Each tapa has each menu, each wine, sorry, okay? That's the main idea, because we don't serve it like a full glass of wine. We serve like a 2 or 3 ounce, because if you have 5 steps, you will get drunk in the end of the full experience.
From the first one,
you cannot have a full glass of wine. Exactly.
It's not a bad idea.
The main idea is that you get the first wine, and then you can remember the first wine when you get the fifth wine.
Okay, got you.
That's the main idea. Okay, because if you get a full glass of wine and you get 5 glasses of wine, probably you get drunk in the end of the day. You cannot remember the full experience. Okay.
I want to bring the chef back in because he was also in the middle of explaining for us the sort of tapas we have on the table. You spoke about this very visually appealing fried jack dish. I call it that. And what we have here, I'm not familiar with this. At first glance, it looked like a piece of napkin, but then I could tell it's not that.
It looks like egg whites.
No, that is a rice chip.
Rice
chip.
Whoa, I was way
That
off.
is the idea, right? If I tell you that is rice, you say, how rice?
Yeah,
But we
Louis.
try to play with that, right? With the textures and the techniques. And this is a shrimp skewers with sweet and garlic, sweet chili garlic sauce, exactly.
Okay.
And in that dish, you can, how I tell you, you can feel different textures, different techniques, flavors, because the sauce is a little sweet, sour, and spicy too. And the taste with the shrimps will be very nice. And of course, the texture of the dish are different too.
So then, with the stage set for the tapas and the flavors, I have to ask you, Mr. Ephraim, based on what you know about this tapas, which wine bottles pairs well with this, in your view, and which bottle pairs well with that?
Here, in this case, we can go with the Pinot Noir with Mahamara, and then we can go with the Pinot Grillo with the shrimp, okay?
Why?
Because this is keep the balance. The seafood is matched a lot with the white wines. In this case, the Pinot Grillo is very easy wine to drink. It's more fruity. It's more very easy to identify all the fruits in your mouth. Will be more fresh. Okay.
Okay.
The Pinot Noir is a wine that is for the people who start to drink wine. Okay. Because it's a wine that you can get very easy in your mouth. It's not a lot of tannins in your mouth. It's not a lot of acid. Okay, and the Mahamara is a drink that's like a kind, we can say puree, and then you can dip it, you can taste it, especially with the almonds, and also you have the calamari olives. That's is totally different that you can find it also. Yeah, and for that we match that wine with that. Okay.
Should we try?
Absolutely.
You all want us to try fried jack?
Yes. Before you try it,
Yeah.
I wanna just.
No, go ahead.
Open a light from my side. I want to make another comment about the wine and tapas will be now in the ceviche bar. The ceviche bar is a new concept that we have in the hotel. Okay, that will be in the courtyard. For that, I want to invite the people that come. They can get different types of ceviches, different type of cocktails, different type of micheladas. You will see a new cocktail. Maybe you can say, "Wow, how is possible you can match a stock beer with the soya sauce and the different types of drinks." And that will be for 7 days a week, 12 to 9 o'clock. And also Friday we will have 4 to 7, the happy hour, okay? Cocktails for just $9 or $10, and you can have a really good experience, okay?
It's very
okay, and we have
affordable.
a beautiful menu, a ceviche menu that French Chef Luis did, with the local ingredients, but international concept, okay?
All right, well,
we're not done yet because we still have to try it. Sab, you're going to try with me?
Yeah,
or?
I'll try with you.
Yeah, because I know sometimes you're a bit iffy, right? Okay, we'll switch. Come right back in.
So, again, it's every day next week it starts.
So it starts tomorrow.
Friday.
Tomorrow. So it's monthly. We had it in May, so we're now having it in June. So tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. we will be having the wine and tapas. But this goes along with other events that we are now having in the courtyard.
Okay.
Like Efren mentioned, we recently moved our ceviche bar into the courtyard, so people can try a variety of ceviche options in our courtyard as well daily.
Paul, what do you think?
Yeah, tell us.
Do you taste the spice? Thank you.
It's really good.
Okay. So I'll go with the small little one here. Try to get a baby olive. Actually, no, let me get that.
I really like it. I like the fried jack. It's fluffy. It's light. It's airy. And then there's just a lot happening with the, what do you call the dip?
Mohat Mara.
Mohat Mar,
Yeah.
right? So there's a lot going on with the Mohat Mar and the olive in there. I think this is raisin.
No, that is the
Prunes?
blueberries.
Blueberry.
Yeah.
All right. So that really adds a beautiful flavor to it.
Yeah, I got
love
blueberries
the
in
olive.
mine too.
And I
Oh my
love
God,
the
this is
olive.
so good.
It's so good,
It's
right?
like so many different flavors.
The flavors are different how we usually try here in Belize.
Right.
But how I say, we try to introduce a little bit of our food or our techniques, our ingredients, sorry.
Right, with the local,
products.
What I like about this is that I wouldn't necessarily eat fried jacks in the evening time.
Yeah.
Right. You know, this is like kind of like a breakfast meal or side that we would go with.
Right.
So it's interesting to see how you pair it with a dip, how it kind of changes the association of fried jack.
And also with wine as well.
And I was just going
too.
to say, I could also see it going well with the wine.
Absolutely.
Just because of the burst of flavors, and the wine would just add a really nice component to that very dip.
Right.
So you want to try the shrimp as well, Sam? Because I think they have a gun to our head right now telling us, you better eat it and you better like it, but it's really good.
We just want to hear your
Wait, let's
experience.
stop for a moment and appreciate the olive in that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See?
Wow. The olive is the best part
To
of
me,
it.
the herb as well. It's an
very nice.
there's an aftertaste that I get from the herb.
Love
Burst
it.
of different
Yeah.
explosions
It's an
and flavors
experience for
in your mouth.
everyone. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's
All right.
go.
So how do we eat this one here now?
This one?
How do you eat that?
I'll let the chef go ahead.
The sauce, we make like a mix of the ingredients and all of them together, right? And we use local peppers and local ingredients, of course, and then reduce all of them, right? And the shrimps are marinated with soy sauce and sesame oil. That's why I have like a little Asian flavors too.
Is it grilled?
Yeah, that's in the grill.
Because you could see like the char.
That doesn't the grill.
But how do you go about eating the rice part of it there? Do you dip that?
That technique is, well, you need to take a little bit long time to do it, right? Because sometimes you need to cook the rice first and then blend, pure it, and then dehydrate it in warmer and then deep fryer.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
It is.
And it looks so beautiful and interesting. But
Yeah.
how do you break off a piece of it and dip it in?
Yeah, the idea is that you try, of course, all the ingredients together, right?
Together.
Like the sauce,
Okay, Paul.
the string, and
Go for it.
the chip.
The wine? Okay, so you're gonna open the wine as well. Yeah, you go ahead and open it while we work on this. So we're gonna break the chip.
Yeah, go.
Para the plato.
Oh, it's not as
Okay, I thought it
crispy
was
as
hard.
I thought it would be, but to think that this comes from rice, the
I know.
technique. Can I just try it by itself?
How is it?
Tastes like a rice chip.
Really?
Yeah.
One of the dishes that we have in the menu too is a short rib with chocolate Maya sauce too.
It like melts in your mouth.
Try it with that little sauce there.
Okay.
You can tell us about the other dishes we have as well.
Okay, so I just dipped it.
So yeah, so these are two of the dishes that are feature in your tapas nights. What other dishes can we look forward to?
Also, we have this, how I mentioned, the short rib, black Angus.
Whoa.
With mashed potato, truffle oil, and Maya chocolate sauce. In this dish also we are using like local ingredients. Our Maya chocolate, which is very good, very tasty, very nice to create food, right?
And this goes right back to the way that you guys have been able to incorporate things uniquely associated with being Belizean. We got our fried jacks, we got our Mayan chocolate. And so that I think really allows people to connect with the recipes, even if they have some type of an international twist involved.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, Paul. So we got our wine.
Yeah. What wine is this?
So this would be the amount that you would typically get, right?
Typically, yeah.
Okay.
This is the Pinot Grillo.
And this is what you would pair with this?
And pair with that, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's go share it. Oh, that's
It's
yummy.
my type of vibes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's refreshing too.
So it's dry. Right? It's really good.
Fruity wine, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So this pairs well with seafood.
Let's go with seafood. You can match that with the ceviches.
Okay.
Any ceviche with the Pinot Grillo, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, all the ceviches, yes.
All right, so Paul asked a little bit earlier some of the other items that you'd be able to get, some of the other tapas that you'd be able to get.
Yeah, that's why he was.
They're coming along?
Yeah, well, in any case that you don't want to have the, for example, you want to get the experience but you want to add it a little more, you can ask just for the tapa. Okay. And in that night, but also chef have a concept for tapas for the restaurant that also you guys can come and have the full experience for the tapas. We have like 9 tapas in the menu that's different than these tapas, okay? We have, for example, octopus, we have the tuna tataki, the beef tartare, okay? We have the pappardelle with lamb rack that's gonna be a pasta, which is amazing. And you can mash all that flavor with any recommendation of the service and bartender can do it for the guests, okay?
So you get a total of 5.
Five with this concept for 5, okay?
And if you have any food allergies, how do we go about
we
that?
can normally, in the experience that we have in the restaurant, normally always we ask to the guests that letting us if they have any food allergy or any food restrictions, okay?
You did ask,
case.
Shauna.
And then, we can decide if we need to change the tapa, or in any case, we can see with the chef if we can take out any ingredient, okay?
Yeah.
But the main idea is the guests have the full experience because each tapa is matched with each wine, okay?
Okay.
What's the experience or the mindset? What do you want people to leave with in their minds after these experiences?
Yeah, we trying to get in the future people that can recognize in any restaurant in Belize City and here in the country the wines, and they can choose between Cabernet Sauvignon, Malbec, Pinot Noir, Merlot when they visit any restaurant. Because sometimes we cannot recognize that we go to any restaurant and we don't know what we can ask with the food. And that is very important that create that atmosphere and experience in Belize.
That awareness too.
What's the cost of tapas night?
So the cost for tapas night is $75. So it's $75 for
US?
the 5 Belize for the 5 glasses of wine along with the 5 tapas. Like I mentioned, we will also have live music from saxophonist Chris Bradshaw, and also we will have a sommelier present that will be taking people through that experience as they consume the wine.
That's very
not bad at all. I was just thinking, I had to ask if it's US.
Yes, and another thing is very important to add to China. We have a limited space for 30 covers.
Yeah.
That is very important if we want to do
30?
Yeah, because the idea is that we don't want to have a crowded space. We want you guys come, relax, get the experience, and you have a lot of fun that day.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yes.
Excellent.
All right. Well, this has been really fun. Are we still waiting for some of the other items to come out?
No, this is
okay. All right. Well, awesome. As we mentioned, Tapas Night 1 begins tomorrow.
It begins tomorrow, correct. But it's also a part of a series of courtyard events that we are having. In addition to the wine and tapas, we also have our Mexican chill night, which is tacos and margaritas every Thursday night as well, from 6 to 9. And we've also relocated our ceviche bar to our courtyard as well, that is open every day.
All right.
So that's a lot of information, and I just hope all of that sinks in, because clearly there's a lot happening over here. But definitely we want to invite people out to Tapas Night. Tomorrow night is only $75. 5 tapas, 5 glasses of wine. You could leave here happy, smiling, your stomach satisfied, and enjoy your Friday night after that, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Cool. Well, we take our final break now, and when we come back, we wrap things up.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Are you ready for KTV The Remix Season 7? The stage is set, the lights are on, and the voices are coming back stronger than ever. KTV The Remix Season 7 returns on July 1st, and it's going to be bigger, bolder, and more electrifying. New voices, new talent, same iconic showdown. Who will rise? Who will remix? Who will rule the stage? Tuesday, July 1st. The comeback begins! KTV, The Remix Season 7, where talent takes the mic.
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking with us. We unfortunately have to wrap up now, but that's just how it goes. Another fun day with you guys. And we have to say a huge thank you to the Fort George Hotel and Spa for hosting us this morning. We are currently inside here at the Treehouse, so if you're on your way for your coffee, stop by. You might have just a couple more seconds, and you may catch us as well.
Yeah, definitely. This was an enjoyable experience. Just starting with the conversations at the start of the morning, and the coffee.
Yeah,
coffee was really nice.
It was strong.
I love a strong
I know, it's your favorite type of coffee,
right? And so it was right up my alley, and we really had a great time here.
We did. Well, it's June 26th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to ya. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com.
You can also catch us live on Facebook every weekday morning at Open Your Eyes BC. I believe that tomorrow, Sab, before you continue, that we go back to
What the Friday?
The Friday,
Yeah.
right in our studio, until you know how engaging those Fridays are and those conversations are.
Yeah.
So we'll continue with that tomorrow.
And you can also catch us on Instagram for behind the scenes contents. That's OIE Belize. You can even call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's 675-2555. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes
and start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open. And also remember that on Monday we hit the road again
to Placencia.
That's where we're going to be on Monday. It's going to be an exciting show. So you want to look forward to tomorrow, and you also want to look forward to Monday when we head down to Placencia. But until then, see you next time. Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.